It's been almost exactly 5 months since I started trying to learn to paint, so I wanted to take a minute to talk about what I've learned since that random fall weekend when I decided to give it a try. 5 months doesn't seem like a whole lot of time, but I counted up all the paintings I've done since then, and I just finished my 48th painting. That is a really surprising number when I look at it. If my napkin math is right, that's averaging a bit more than 2 paintings per week. I'm pretty happy with that considering I do this in my spare time mostly on weekends. It really helps that I follow what I like to think of as a Bob Ross style philosophy to painting. To make it more accessible, I try to make painting more bite-sized by focusing on completing a portrait in about 3 hours. These are obviously not masterpieces, but I'm starting to get some results that I really like. Getting back to what I've learned since I started, I think quite a lot actually. For context, I've been drawing for years, but had never picked up a paintbrush before until recently. I'm entirely self-taught, but I'll put quotes around self-taught, because I've really learned a lot from others, just not through conventional ways. A lot has been through expert painters on YouTube and WordPress blogs, which, if I'm being honest, I don't think I could have gotten far without. First and foremost, I think the biggest area of growth has been freehand painting without measuring tools. I feel I've gotten much better at estimating proportions and shapes without relying on my favorite tools like the trusty ruler and proportional divider. This seems true for both my typical head and shoulders portraits and for the handful of figure studies I've done. I still need to work on precision and accuracy to life though. That was made clear when I tried to paint Taylor Swift and Dua Lipa for my kids. The likenesses just didn't get there. I'm trying to get better on that front, but it's an area I need to focus on. I also want to practice more figure studies in various poses. Another area I've improved on is color use. One specific example is that the first 20 or so paintings I used a lot of ivory black, both for really dark areas and blending with other colors. It made some of my paintings really muddy and didn't produce a visually pleasing look. At the suggestion of some more experienced artists, I started leaning into mixing Umbers and ultramarine blue to get a dark black-like color, which I think has been really useful. I've gotten better on other aspects of mixing and layering colors too, which is pretty noticeable to me when I look at earlier paintings. So what do I need to improve on still? Well, quite a lot. I look at the painting journey as a years-long process, much like learning colored pencils was for me. As long as I can keep the hobby going, I fully expect to still be learning and changing 3 or 4 years from now. And that idea is definitely exciting. But a few specific things I've got my eye on in the near term. I want to get better at color identification and using smaller, discrete zones of color. And although I said I like being able to paint fast, I do think I should work on precision and attention to detail. It would probably slow me down a bit, but that's probably important for growth going forward. That's all I've got for this conversation about progress at the 5-month mark. As always, if there's any questions or comments, I'm glad to dive in and discuss, especially when it comes to other people's painting journeys and thoughts on the learning process. Those are things that are always interesting to me. Also, feel free to let me know what you think about this massive split screen thing I've got going. I had done 2 paintings side by side before on a YouTube video, but I was really curious to see how 4 would go. Hopefully it's not too distracting. I couldn't resist though. Anyhow, thank you for watching.